Hey, this is Notser, and today we're going to be taking a look at Cheshire. This is a premium Tier 8 British heavy cruiser, and this is my first impression on the ship. Now, the first go-around with the British heavies, this was not a ship that we could test. On the second go-around, though, we got a chance, and there's a couple traits that are different about this ship compared to the Tier 8 mainline British heavy cruiser. I'm going to talk about those, and hopefully you guys enjoy the game. My build is on the screen. The only change I would change High Alert to Preventative Maintenance and Expert Loader. The reload is a bear. It's one of the British heavy cruiser weaknesses. It just takes a really long time to reload, and when it takes a really long time to reload, it's probably a good idea to have Expert Loader, especially when you have to switch back and forth so consistently. So, Cheshire is a ship that is using the 203mm guns that you can find on the Tier 9 and Tier 10 mainline British heavy cruisers, the Drake and the Goliath. Instead of the 9-gun 203 variant that is the mainline, this is using 6 of those 234mm guns. Also, it has a slightly different torpedo system. The range is reduced compared to the mainline, but it also has a couple features that weren't a part of the British heavy cruisers until the second go-around, namely the extended range hydro. Now, normally I don't get a chance to show it off because even with extended range hydro, it's still 5 kilometers to detect a ship. But with the build and the tankability that is the British heavy cruisers, there's actually a legitimate case to be made that you could actually pursue a target. And in fact, in this game, we actually pursue 2 targets using this extended range. Much better compared to the 3-kilometer DD hydro that we were testing in the first go-around. So, overall, larger gun caliber. It does have the extra HE pin that's baked into the 234s, so that it has 58 millimeters of base pin, which is a huge number. You only have 6 of them, though, and you don't have any other tool. You don't have defensive AA, you don't have radar, you don't have speed boost. You've got to make the ship be impactful with what is presented. Now, we headed over towards the center of the map because I don't like the direction that my team's headed. It seems that everyone is leaving the western side of the map in their limbing train over on the east. In fact, the players that I was running with, Rootin' Tootin' and Floof, Rootin' made a comment, "Man, our team seems to not care about the west," and because my team doesn't care about the west, I am headed out here. But as we're headed out here, we're able to punish this Des Moines, and in fact, teammates are able to take him out. And it's not half bad. We could have switched to AP, and in fact, I was ready to go AP. You can see that AP was loaded. But I haven't been impressed with the British heavy cruiser AP. It is certainly not in the same conversation as American AP or, even the German AP or the Soviet. I don't know what it is about it. It just is disappointing. And it could just be down to the rate of fire. 15 seconds is a real chore to be able to load and fire against a target, and I chose to use hydro. I just had this sneaking suspicion that there must be a DD sending, and of course the hydro spots. I did confirm on my teammate whether hydro was up or not. I don't know if there's an indicator for it, but regardless, we are able to spot enough torpedoes, and in fact, I'm trying to rely on the fact that I have my momentum, and I'm going to just keep moving forward through this until there's a nice big gap, which, of course, there is. But this is incredibly dangerous. There's obviously a DD in at B, and who knows what's over by A because everyone left the flank. And this is not the way you want to start the game. And somehow, the enemy DD, Kagado, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he misinterpreted, but he got spotted at point-blank range under hydro with a massive ship. My concealment isn't spectacular. He should easily be able to out-conceal us by like 4 kilometers, but he got too close. And the hydro is going to spot him. It's going to spot the torpedoes. If he tried to use smoke, he can't really get out of it. Of course, we see why he doesn't use smoke. He is running the torpedo reload consumable. And why is there a Neptune here? Why? But we're going to try and maintain good angling against the Neptune and the Lion. This is not a good situation. I do decide to switch over to AP, and I'm going to try and punish this guy on the broadside. Now, this is ideal. This is literally where you want it to be, and yeah, we punish that hard. But if it's not an ideal situation, you just end up waiting on your reload, and oh, yep, we had to. We have no choice. Absolutely no choice. I'm going to try and take advantage of the fact that the lion did fire, and he wrecked us. And I'm going to angle back. Now, this is going to open us up to the Neptune, but I'm hoping that he'll miss the location, and he won't Citadel me. Because if he... Oh, someone hit a big shot. Huge shot. We're just going to finish him off with HE. No big deal there. Location doesn't matter. I think he tried to use radar. I think he's actually a radar Neptune. And interesting choice. We run into two players that have a very weird build. It doesn't give you an out. And when situations like this happen, what can you do? If you don't have an out, you need to try and retreat. And if you just want to stay there and be stubborn, you know, at one point he probably felt like he had the advantage, but clearly he didn't. And this is one of the things that the British heavies do so well. They are such a great active encounter cruiser. They weather damage so well. They can recover their health like none other in the cruiser class. And the gun has a great penetration, very satisfying, meaty damage, and, you know, overall, it's just a super satisfying ship to play, and line itself, it's developed really nicely. And, you know, earlier on, I had arguments with myself, you know, what do they do well? Why would I choose it? They push. They push really well. Is that something that competitive is going to see? Probably not. Playing through the clan brawl this week, the 12 versus 12, that was pretty insane. Everyone is so far back that anyone who's forward is going to be focused and killed. So I don't know if this will ever be relevant for a competitive game mode, but for random and maybe rank, it might be appealing. So this lion, I'm just trying to get as close as possible so I can actually use torpedoes. So we're going to send a couple sets. Nice thing about, or a couple torpedoes, the nice thing about the Brits, single launch torpedoes. So I still have torpedoes that I can send at a different angle if I felt like I needed to fix it. And of course, he takes the torpedo tube that I'm using on the side out. It's incapacitated. I'm hoping that my torps will hit, but there's a contingency that if they don't, we're going to follow up with a second set. And this is sort of why the Brits are so cool. Even a single launch system with 4 torpedoes, I can still use it very effectively against a close range target, whereas the French or the Italians, they only have 1 launcher and they can't single launch. So once they send a torp, you are guaranteed that there is nothing else that could hit your ship, whereas with the Brits, it's always a risk unless you count each and every torpedo that's coming your way. Now, this is an interesting game because somehow we were able to turn this around. The east side won, but surprisingly, I won in the west with a couple teammates, namely the Shimakaze and the Friedrich der Grosse, and I didn't expect to be able to do that, but the recovery is so extreme on this ship that even players that are not familiar with it, they might overextend their ship and be left to just get wiped out. You know, similar to engaging a British battleship, their super heal will goat you into extended engagement, and it might goat you into causing yourself to die. So we're moving over here, and there's a couple enemy ships, namely, we've got the Lexington and the Amato. Look where these guys are. They felt like this whole flank was theirs by default, that they moved up so much that now my teammates on the east and the mid have actually moved in and are detecting them for us. And we're just capturing this base. Should be 3 bases at this point. I don't see how we lose this game, and it's very surprising to me that this was the situation that came down. I can't believe the Kagado allowed me to get that close. That was a huge mistake by him. Having Hydro up for not only the torpedoes, but him himself, it's very comfortable to play around them. Now, this does not get the British acceleration. So you will have to decide if, you know, that's something you care about or whether it's a trait that you can live without, because that's just something that they have to give up. This is sort of moving into the battleship where the battleships don't have that, but they do have a super heal. So honestly, the super heal is so potent and it can recover so much damage that it is screaming for you to be aggressive. And I like that. I enjoy it. I wish that the German cruiser line was screaming similar. It just doesn't really end up having that same playability, but the Brits certainly do. So, enemy Yamato, I was kind of pausing to see if he would commit to firing his gun. Doesn't really, but we're going to go around anyway, because if we don't, the game's going to be over, and there's not going to be any way. But we do end up losing a friendly on our team. It does look like these torps are going to be good for the Shima, and that's good. And oh yeah, he actually detonate the Yamato. So this is actually pretty fun. Yes, it's only 6 guns, but they're a big gun caliber, and you don't have quite as many shatters. I mean, you get, what is it, 25, 24 more millimeters of penetration compared to the 203s. So that cannot be ignored. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way this game ended up going, and very pleased. Just overall, the British heavy cruiser line feels really nice. It plays very well for the game. It doesn't feel like other cruiser lines, and it certainly has its own unique shtick. Whether that is going to be make it into clan or rank or whatever, we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this preview of the Cheshire. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out more of my content, you can click the most recent or the most relevant uploads. You could also choose to subscribe to my channel. We do daily World War videos, first impression, how-to, news, or review related. My North American recruit invite is on the screen. You can take advantage of that. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.